Welcome back to the Everyday Faith Podcast from Eastside with today's faith-rooted principle.
Hello, today's Monday, April the 6th. This is Pastor Finley Cutshaw. Today's rooted principle is failure is never final as long as God's grace is at work in your life. In the Gospel of Luke, chapter 22, verse 59 through 62, we read these words, "And about the space of 1 hour after another confidently affirmed, saying of a truth, this fellow also was with him, for he is a Galilean. And Peter said, Man, I know not what thou sayest. And immediately while he yet spake, the cock crew. And the Lord turned and looked upon Peter, and Peter remembered the word of the Lord, how he had said unto him, Before the cock crow, thou shalt deny me thrice. And Peter went out and wept bitterly." Most of you probably are familiar with that story. It's Peter's denial of Christ. In fact, he denied him 3 times. In one of the Gospels, it even mentions that he cursed when he denied the Lord Jesus. He found himself warming himself by the fires of the enemy and, in a sense, forsaking the Lord Jesus Christ in his time of greatest need. The Lord knew that was coming, but he did not give up on Peter. And that's where this idea of failure is not final comes from. You think about many people in this world who, if they had given up after their first or second or even sometimes third, fourth, and many other attempts to be successful, if they had quit early on, they never would have found success. I read online that Walt Disney was fired for lacking imagination. Henry Ford's early companies went bankrupt before he ever created the Model T Ford. The man by the name Sir James Dyson may not be familiar to you, but Dyson vacuum cleaners probably are. He spent 15 years developing 5,126 failed prototypes before launching the first bagless vacuum. The list could go on. I went to college with a guy that went to school in high school with Michael Jordan. And the friend that I went to school with made the basketball team the year that Michael Jordan was cut from the team. And look at what Michael Jordan went on to do. These are just worldly examples. And folks, listen, when God is at work in your life, even though you've had failure, don't give up, don't quit, don't walk away, trust God. Many times God uses our failures to bring about greater successes for His glory. Peter knew a lot about failure. He fished all night and caught nothing. He sank when he tried to walk on the water, but at least he got out on the water. He denied Christ even though he vowed he never would. He gave up and went back to fishing even after he saw the resurrected Lord. Yet the Lord would not let him walk away. Christ kept after Peter. He kept molding Peter. And then on the day of Pentecost, Peter was the one preaching when there were 3,000 people saved. It wasn't Peter. It was the Spirit of God working in his life that brought about this great victory. Listen, if you've had times of failure in your life, don't give up. Turn to Christ and let Him work out your failures to create a future success. Remember, today's rooted principle, failure is never final.
Thanks for joining us for today's rooted principle right here on the Everyday Faith Podcast. If today's conversation has encouraged you, be sure to share it with someone who might need it. And don't forget to follow and subscribe so you never miss an episode. We'll see you next time right here on the Everyday Faith Podcast.